Imagine this right now as you sit here listening. Someone close to you is carrying a truth that they have hidden for years. Not days, not weeks, not months, years. A feeling so powerful that it has shaped the way they look at you, the moments they stay silent, the words they choose carefully, and even the small actions you may have overlooked. And now, after carrying this emotion for so long, they are reaching a point where they can no longer keep it hidden. This is not just about romance. This is about the deeper movement of the human mind. It is about the unconscious slowly pushing something hidden into the light. What you believed was simple friendship, quiet admiration, or unexplained distance may have actually been a long inner journey happening beneath the surface. If you are ready to discover the hidden psychological meaning behind this confession, stay with this message because what comes next reveals why these feelings can become so powerful. The unconscious has been preparing this moment for a long time, even before the person fully understood what they were feeling. In Jungian psychology, the deeper layers of the mind are often more complex and powerful than our everyday thoughts. The conscious mind may try to analyze, control, or ignore emotions, but the unconscious continues working quietly in the background. What appears to be a sudden confession is usually not sudden at all. It is often the final moment of a process that began long ago. For years, sometimes from the very first time they met you, their unconscious mind has been collecting small details about you, your expressions, your personality, your kindness, your energy, the way you make them feel when they are around you. These small moments slowly create a powerful inner image of you. Over time, you become more than just a person in their life. You become connected to memories, emotions, hopes, and deeper parts of themselves that they may not have fully understood. This can happen through dreams, strong emotional reactions, repeated thoughts that appear without warning, and meaningful experiences that seem impossible to ignore. The unconscious begins to treat you as someone significant. It quietly places you into their personal story and connects you with their deepest desires, forgotten dreams, and hidden parts of their personality. They may not understand why they think about you so often. They may not understand why your presence affects them differently from others. But beneath their conscious awareness, something deeper is taking place. The unconscious can project hidden qualities, dreams, and unrealized parts of the self onto another person. Because of this, someone may begin to see you as representing qualities they deeply admire, qualities they may wish they had within themselves. You may appear to them as someone who carries warmth, confidence, strength, creativity, emotional depth, or mystery. These feelings can become stronger over time, building like pressure inside a closed container. The person may try to ignore these emotions. They may convince themselves that it is nothing important. They may create distance or try to focus on other things. But the unconscious continues its work. The feelings remain. The thoughts return. The emotional connection continues growing. Eventually, the pressure becomes too strong to hold inside. This reveals something important about the power of the unconscious. It constantly pushes people toward greater awareness and personal growth. The confession often happens when the person reaches a point where hiding the truth becomes more painful than expressing it. It is the moment when their inner world demands honesty. That is why these moments can feel almost like destiny. It can feel as though something has been guiding the person toward this realization for a long time. The person who loves you may not only be responding to you as an individual, they may also be responding to what you symbolize inside their own psyche. In Jungian psychology, this is connected to the idea of the anima and animus. These concepts describe inner images of qualities that a person may unconsciously seek, develop, or understand through relationships. When someone develops deep feelings for another person, they may unknowingly place these inner images onto them. They begin to see the other person as the embodiment of something they have been searching for within themselves. You become connected with their hidden potential. You become a symbol of qualities they want to awaken. When someone loves you from a distance for a long time, they may not only be responding to your actual personality, they may also be responding to the deeper meaning their unconscious has attached to you. You become the person who represents something missing. You become the reflection of qualities they have not yet fully accepted within themselves. Maybe they see your courage because they are searching for courage within their own life. Maybe they see your kindness because they are learning how to become more compassionate toward themselves. Maybe they see your emotional strength because they are discovering the strength they have always carried inside. This is why silent love can feel so intense. It is not only an emotion directed outward, it is also an inner journey happening within the person experiencing it. If you have ever felt that someone was silently carrying thoughts about you, silently remembering you, or silently holding emotions they never expressed, this may explain why their behavior felt different. The projection becomes powerful because it is connected to the unconscious. The person may experience dreams about you. They may imagine different possibilities. They may create an emotional connection in their mind that feels larger than ordinary attraction. What feels like love toward another person can also be the psyche trying to reconnect with forgotten parts of itself. The attraction points toward qualities that have been hidden because of past experiences, family patterns, fears, or personal wounds. The upcoming confession is therefore not only about revealing feelings, it is also about psychological transformation. It represents a moment when the person begins to recognize what they have been carrying inside. When the words finally come out, the confession creates an opportunity for them to take back the parts of themselves they placed onto another person. They begin to understand that the qualities they admired in you were also reflections of their own potential. The love that remained hidden for so long becomes a bridge toward deeper self-awareness. Long-held love often creates a powerful emotional tension because feelings that are never expressed do not simply disappear. They continue developing beneath the surface. In Jungian psychology, individuation is the lifelong process of becoming a more complete and authentic version of yourself by bringing together the conscious and unconscious parts of the mind. When someone carries love silently for years, that hidden emotion can become a powerful force in this process. The feelings do not leave. Instead, they turn inward. They force the person to examine themselves more deeply. They begin questioning their fears, their desires, their insecurities, and the parts of themselves they have ignored. The emotion becomes a catalyst for inner growth. The romance, even though it feels deeply real and powerful, can also function as a meaningful illusion created by the unconscious mind. It is a force that pushes a person towards psychological balance and inner healing. What appears to be love for another person may also represent a deeper love for the forgotten or missing parts of oneself. The attraction becomes a language through which the unconscious tries to reveal what has been hidden. Through years of silent longing, the psyche begins a journey back toward the center. Personal desire slowly transforms into an opportunity for growth, self-discovery, and becoming a more complete version of oneself. The emotional tension created by unspoken love does not simply disappear. It builds energy inside the mind and demands some form of transformation. In Jungian psychology, the psyche is understood as a living system of emotional energy. Feelings that are ignored, hidden, or pushed away do not vanish. They continue to exist beneath awareness, gathering strength and searching for a way to be expressed. When someone carries deep feelings for you in silence for many years, that emotion does not remain still. Every hidden desire, every moment of hesitation, every glance that was never explained, and every memory kept private adds more emotional energy to the unconscious. It becomes like a river held behind a powerful dam. The person may try to control these feelings through logic, distraction, or pretending they do not exist. They may tell themselves to move on or convince themselves that the emotions are not important. But the unconscious continues working in the background. The inner image of you becomes stronger. The meaning attached to you grows deeper. You are no longer only a person in their life. You become a symbol connected to something larger within their own psyche. If this hidden love feels like it is awakening something deep inside you, understand that this emotional energy can appear in many different ways. Dreams may become stronger and more meaningful. The person may experience repeated thoughts, powerful memories, or feelings that seem impossible to ignore. Their imagination may become filled with emotional images and possibilities. They may notice unusual patterns, meaningful moments, or experiences that feel connected to their inner world. The longer these feelings remain unspoken, the stronger the inner imbalance becomes. The psyche naturally searches for harmony. When something important is suppressed for too long, the mind begins looking for a way to restore balance. What begins as simple affection can slowly become a powerful emotional force. It may affect a person's mood, creativity, choices, and sense of direction. They may feel restless without understanding why. They may feel blocked creatively or strangely drawn toward things that remind them of you. These experiences are signs that the hidden emotional energy is searching for expression. The tension itself has a purpose. It becomes a force that encourages personal transformation. The love that remains unspoken brings hidden parts of the personality closer to awareness. It reveals fears, insecurities, forgotten desires, and qualities that have not yet been fully developed. In Jungian psychology, these hidden parts are connected with concepts such as the shadow, the anima, and the animus. They represent parts of ourselves that we have not fully accepted or understood. The person may begin to recognize fears they avoided for years. They may discover emotional needs they never admitted. They may realize that what they admired in another person was also connected to qualities waiting to be awakened within themselves. Eventually, the pressure of keeping everything hidden becomes too strong. Remaining silent begins to feel more painful than expressing the truth. This is when the confession begins to emerge. It is not only a moment of emotional release. It is the psyche attempting to bring hidden feelings into conscious awareness and create a deeper sense of balance. After this moment, a transformation begins. The person starts withdrawing some of the projection they placed onto you. They begin reclaiming their own strength, their own qualities, and their own emotional power. What once felt like overwhelming longing becomes a pathway toward growth. The energy that was trapped inside begins moving forward, helping the person become more authentic and whole. A true confession happens when the individual is ready to accept what was previously hidden. In Jungian psychology, the self represents the deeper center of the personality. It is the inner force that guides a person toward wholeness and integration. For someone who has carried silent love for years, the image of you may have existed as powerful emotional material separated from everyday awareness. Fear, timing, insecurity, or personal struggles may have prevented them from acknowledging it openly. But the feeling remained alive within the unconscious. Over time, it continued developing and gaining importance until the person became emotionally ready to face it. The confession does not happen randomly. It often appears when the deeper parts of the psyche recognize that the person has grown strong enough to handle the truth. There is a moment of inner alignment. The conscious mind becomes prepared to face vulnerability. The person develops enough emotional strength to accept uncertainty, possible rejection, and the risk of revealing their authentic self. The fears that once controlled them begin losing their power. Life experiences, reflection, and personal growth slowly prepare them for this turning point. The qualities they once saw only in you begin revealing something about themselves. The admiration, attraction, and emotional connection become lessons about their own hidden potential. At this stage, the emotional energy reaches a point where continuing to hide it creates more pain than facing it. The self begins guiding the person toward integration. The hidden longing, the idealized image, and the vulnerable emotions begin moving toward consciousness because the psyche recognizes that acceptance is necessary for growth. The confession becomes the outward expression of an inner transformation. What was once placed onto another person slowly returns to where it truly belongs, within the individual themselves. The timing of the confession reveals the deeper wisdom of the self. It does not happen before the person is ready. The unconscious waits until they have enough emotional strength to face what comes with revealing their heart. Confessing deep feelings requires courage. It requires accepting the possibility of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, and the challenge of showing a part of oneself that has remained hidden for a long time. If the confession happens too early, the person may not have the emotional maturity to handle the outcome. They may become overwhelmed by fear or uncertainty. But if they hold everything inside for too long, the silence can create sadness, frustration, and emotional distance. When the right moment finally arrives, the confession often feels natural. It may come after a powerful realization, a meaningful experience, a dream, or a moment when the person suddenly understands that hiding their feelings is no longer possible. The confession becomes the beginning of integration. The person starts taking back the qualities they placed onto you. The qualities they admired, the strength they saw, and the beauty they felt connected to begin becoming parts of their own identity. What once appeared as an obsession with another person slowly transforms into a journey of personal development. This is one of the most important parts of individuation. The separated pieces of the personality begin returning. The person becomes more complete, more aware, and more connected to their true self. The self acts as both the guide and the destination. It leads the individual through emotional challenges while moving them closer to a state of inner wholeness. This is why a confession is never only about romance. It is also a meeting between two people and the deeper parts of the human soul. When someone finally reveals that they have carried feelings for you for a long time, you are not simply receiving affection. You are becoming part of a powerful psychological experience. In Jungian psychology, moments like this can activate deep archetypal patterns within the mind. They reach beyond ordinary attraction and touch something much older and more mysterious within human experience. You become connected to a story that has been forming inside another person's unconscious. You represent something meaningful to them. You may symbolize hope, possibility, healing, or qualities they have been searching for within themselves. But this experience also awakens something within you. A confession like this can become a mirror. It can reveal hidden parts of yourself that you may not have fully recognized. It can bring forgotten emotions, desires, dreams, and possibilities closer to awareness. If you are ready to understand this deeper transformation, recognize that this moment is not only about what someone feels for you, it is also about what this experience reveals about you. The confession carries a powerful archetypal meaning. It connects with ancient human symbols of the beloved, the soulmate, and the search for completion. Jung connected these inner images with the anima and animus, the unconscious qualities that influence how we experience connection, attraction, and emotional union. When someone sees something extraordinary in you, it may reflect something that exists within them. At the same time, what they recognize in you may reveal qualities that your own psyche wants you to discover. This is why receiving a confession can become a profound encounter with your own soul. It invites you to ask deeper questions about yourself. What qualities does this person see in me that I have not fully accepted? What part of myself have I ignored or left unexplored? What hidden strength or beauty is waiting to be recognized? The emotions created by this experience may awaken dreams, memories, and feelings that guide you toward deeper self-understanding. It feels mythic because it follows patterns that have appeared throughout human history. The discovery of the hidden beloved, the moment of revelation, the beginning of a personal journey toward greater awareness. A confession can challenge the way you see yourself. It can shake your old beliefs and reveal that there is more happening beneath the surface. You may feel surprised, touched, uncertain, overwhelmed, or deeply moved. These emotions appear because your mind recognizes that this moment carries more meaning than a simple romantic event. It becomes an opportunity for soul growth. The energy created by this confession can inspire your own process of individuation. It encourages you to reclaim the parts of yourself that you may have placed onto others. Instead of only focusing on what another person feels for you, you begin discovering what this experience teaches you about your own identity. In the end, what appears to be someone else's emotional courage becomes a doorway into your own transformation. As this long-awaited confession approaches, remember that what is unfolding may represent something much greater than romance alone. It is a psychological and emotional turning point. The unconscious has been preparing this moment through years of feelings, memories, fears, and personal growth. What began as hidden love, was also a journey of self-discovery. The silent longing created emotional tension, challenged old patterns, and pushed the person to confront parts of themselves they had avoided. Now, as the truth finally comes forward, the hidden parts of the personality begin returning to awareness. For you, this moment is not simply about hearing someone express their feelings. It can become an encounter with your own inner world. Their emotions may reflect parts of yourself that are waiting to be understood, accepted, and embraced. A confession like this is never only about two people. It is the movement of the psyche toward greater awareness, honesty, and wholeness. Both individuals stand at the beginning of a transformation. The emotional energy that remained silent for so long is finally released, not to control another person, not to complete another person, but to help each individual become more connected with themselves. Stay present, stay aware. When the confession arrives, receive it not only with your emotions, but also with understanding. Recognize that something meaningful is taking place, a moment where hidden feelings become visible, a moment where the desire for authenticity, connection, and personal growth comes into the light. The deeper pattern has awakened. The moment has arrived. Are you ready to face what this revelation brings? Comment the word wholeness below if you feel this message connects with the deeper journey of love and the human psyche. Subscribe to explore more insights into Jungian psychology, relationships, emotions, and the hidden forces that shape the human soul.